It's not the brightest day. It's a nice rainy, cold day. About 4. This is week 4, so we've done 4 whole weeks now. 2 days to go. So I've already chosen the Oracle deck for next week, starting tomorrow. That'll be the Ostara, Seasons of the Witch Ostara Oracle, because it was Ostara last week here at the bottom of the planet. But last week I'd already started and I completely forgot about it, so we're using it this week. It was midweek anyway, so it was, halfway through. So we'll have a look what we've got from our Lord of the Rings deck. I've really loved using this deck this week. I love the cards. I just love the art and the colours and the backs and everything about them, and I love that Saltwater Oracle. So remember today what we're going to do is, if I don't get the Mangrove card, we're going to do an honorary draw for the Mangrove. So we got the Two of Swords. This is the card traditionally with the blindfold, like blind justice kind of card there. And it's got that mask and the flame coming up, which is sort of I don't know, it's got 2 eyes in it, so it looks sort of a bit blindfolded. I'll find you the one from the Rider-Waite, because it's kind of a good base to go by. So here's the Two of Swords from the Rider-Waite deck. It gives you more information about the card. So the Two of Swords is Libra, and it's ruled, the first decan of Libra is ruled by the moon, and I think the second lot is Venus. Oh man, the light outside's amazing. So we've got all these different things going on. We've got so Libra as an air sign, and we've got the moon here. We've got the number 2, and we've got the Two Swords, the blindfold, and we've got the sea. So the sea is traditionally about emotion, and the moon can control emotions, but then we've got the balance of air. So we've also got the deceptive side of the moon and the blindfold. They kind of go together. Like the dark side of the moon is something we never see, but it's there, like the subconscious. So, and then we've got the balance of the Two Swords. But this person they could take their blindfold off. They could put their swords down and take their blindfold off. We don't know why they're there like that. To me, it's a bit like I said about the Ten of Wands. They seem to be making the choice. They could take that blindfold off. They could put the swords down. And if someone's there waiting to attack them, they could probably defend themselves with those swords if they took the blindfold off. Mind you, a sword's a pretty hefty thing if you're not used to holding it, but this one seems quite strong. They're able to hold them up. For such a small person, if you consider that card and how big the swords are compared to the person, it's pretty crazy. Um, so I think this is about not allowing yourself to look, more kind of almost like burying your head in the sand, protecting, like the cross is the defensive position. They're not being used to attack, they're being used in defense. And it looks to me like being afraid of making a choice almost. And I see, because of all the water and the moon, and I know the moon's there because it is related to the first decan of Libra, it makes me think of the subconscious. I'll see what their little book says about it, about their card with because you can see the eyes in that fire, in that flame. It looks like a open mouth, almost like a wolf or something. So maybe it's in Oh, I've disturbed my perfect stand now. The Two of Swords. Oh, this book is so hard to navigate. I think I'd have learnt it by now. This is the thing, we haven't had many swords this month at all. I was looking at the cards. We've had a lot of wands. So the Two of Swords, upright. You are faced with a decision that stands on the edge of a knife. But as Galadriel said, hope remains when the company is true. Before you choose a path, ask for advice, seek out experts, and research your options fully. Trust others to help guide you before you commit. And then in reverse, it says it's the job that's never started that takes the longest to finish. And no matter how much you try to put it off, a decision must be made. The reverse Two of Swords indicates you're struggling between two choices and maybe trying to avoid the inevitable. When in doubt, listen to your intuition. It won't lead you astray. Well, that's interesting. Like I said, I kind of combine the two things together. The That's why sometimes a single card draw is not the best to read. It's just a general energy for the day. So to me today, it would be about some kind of decision. And currently, my decisions are: what shall I do first? What shall I do next? Because I've got so many things I need to or want to do and buy. I don't know what to go for first. The whole idea of not I mean, I'm really good. I love researching. I love checking things out. But maybe there's something I'm not seeing. Maybe there's something that I'm missing here that's more important than something else, possibly. But maybe the Oracle card will add to that. Let's have a look at the Two of Swords in our good old Deviant Moon. This is one of my least favourite cards in the Deviant Moon deck. It probably is my least favourite card. I don't like that card at all. I really don't like it. It's kind of brutal. It reminds me of fighting and boxing and wrestling. I don't like those things. So I don't like this Two of Swords, but this is a different aspect of the Two of Swords because it's like battling against yourself, isn't it? So when you're being like, it is, although I don't like the illustration, because we've got the black and the white, the opposite colours, these guys aren't blind, although they may be only seeing out of one eye, but they've got the opposing complete opposites. So, and they look to be of equal strength. So maybe it's a futile battle. Maybe it could point to an unnecessary worry or anxiety, something that is, again, brought upon ourselves and we don't need it. I mean, this person is quite obviously, to me, battling with themselves. And why are they doing that? So you could be having an internal battle, an internal worry, an internal anxiety that's completely unnecessary. I mean, I have done that for kind of years, but at the moment I'm good. As I said, my biggest thing is procrastination. Could the Two of Swords be about procrastination? I think it quite possibly could. Right, I'm going to put that here so you can see it and think about it. Try and prop it up somehow. Cloths are good if they've got a little bit of weight. I used to have a lot of stones on my desk because stones are really good to hold things up. Okay, I'll hold it up with my badge. Still crazy after all these years. I used to love badges when I was a kid. This is a really old badge. I've got some really old badges. So we'll have a look at the Oracle card and see if we get the mangrove. If I can do it without knocking that lot down. Made a bit of a mess here. Okay, we've got... What have we got? We've only got to count to two, so that's not bad. Let's see what we get. 1, 2. Oh, we've got the Orca, communication. We've got another 2. We've got 2 Orcas. And we've got a moon in this card too. We've got the sea in this card too. And we've got the black and white in this card too. So if you look at it, there's quite a lot going on that's pretty similar to these cards. Whales have a good way of communicating with each other, don't they? Are they like dolphins? They communicate by sonar. Orcas are large mammals belonging to the oceanic dolphin family. Orcas are found in all oceans around the world, and their diet varies depending on their location. They are predators and work together in small family groups to hunt. Their colours of black and white signify, like most animals who share dual colours, their ability to balance extremes. And they can teach us ways of encompassing both the positive and negative traits that we exhibit. This is crazy, eh? Orcas are amazing communicators. They use their ultrasonic sounds to communicate with each other. This allows them to exhibit sophisticated hunting techniques, which involve working in unison, often with what appears to be a choreographed display as they hunt. They symbolize the need for active communication and vocalization and its importance in regards to learning and teaching. Each orca pod will have its own unique language, which is known as a dialect. This is passed down to their young. When the orca appears, it is reminding us of the importance of language and dialogue. It is imperative that we are all allowed to voice our feelings and share our journey with those around us. The orca reminds us of the therapeutic benefits of talking and expressing ourselves, whether it be through words, body language, writing, singing, dancing, or any of the other ways we can use our voices and our bodies to communicate emotions and feelings with those around us. Well, that is pretty cool considering when you look at those two cards, and it's opened up another. See, it's added to the story now, because talking about dialogue and communication, I need to improve my audio, and this microphone is good, but I need to work out a better way to wear it. That's one thing I thought about. And the other thing was deciding whether I need to split this channel or not. And I did ask on here about it. And I talked about it yesterday, I think, when I mentioned about the river, or it might have been the day before. So that's something that's been really the biggest thing I've been thinking about. And I kind of made a decision yesterday not to split the channel. And I made that decision by communicating with the viewers, you guys, and asking you what you thought. Because I wanted to be more expressive about and share more of my life and my thoughts, not just based around tarot. Although, because I use tarot every day, it's always going to be there. And I can relate tarot to anything. Everything in my life I can relate to anything. Although the blindness is almost like, what are you worrying about? Why are you carrying this burden? Why are you trying to balance these two swords and carry this burden when there's no need to? You can just put them down, take the blindfold off, and move ahead. That's what I think about that lot. And if I get any more revelations about the Two of Swords, then I will share them. But now I have a box. So hang on a minute, because I'm going to have to move stuff out of the way to open the box. I don't want to knock everything flying. My tripod, is very precarious. Does this mean that I'm working with the equivalent of a two-legged tripod? I wonder. And that's one of the things I need to sort out. Because my tripod is not very well balanced, and this card is saying I need balance. So there's another thought. You see, the minor and the cards, the daily cards are all they're little decision things. They're not things that are going to last forever. It's not like I said, a reading. So when you have these daily cards, you've got to really think about the little things. And it does sound a bit daft to say something like that, I guess, but I don't think so, really. Just about to put these away, and I realised we haven't done what I said I was going to do, the honorary mangrove reading. So let's find the card. Because when I looked at mangroves as these things, they grow and they adapt to their surroundings. They just sort of put their roots down and grow, and then they spread pretty quickly. I quite wanted to, here we go, the hermit crab too. And when I first came to New Zealand, I did live right on pretty much on a mangrove swamp. That was on the other island where it's more, not the South Island is cool, a lot cooler, but the middle of the North Island that was, and it was kind of more mangrove like. You don't get mangroves down here. They like warmer. So that's what it says. It says innovation. I'll show you the now. So when they start, they're kind of like these just little round, like pod things. Mangroves are trees that have learned how to survive in an environment where many other plants would die. The salty environment caused by living so close to the ocean is something that the mangrove has found a unique way of dealing with. They have roots that grow above the ground like little straws, which they breathe through. Similar to other plants that breathe through their leaves, the mangrove's leaves also excrete excess salt. The mangrove's ability to find unique ways of dealing with challenges reminds us that sometimes we need to try new things. If you keep doing the same thing, you'll keep getting the same results. Try being inventive, especially when you find yourself frustrated and unable to make any real progress. Being innovative, moving outside your comfort zone, and looking for new ways to tackle old problems will be beneficial to you when the mangrove appears. Oh my goodness, I certainly moved outside my comfort zone. I took a fear of flying, a massive fear of flying, a terror, a whole social phobia thing, 4 kids, and moved. And I'm a home loving creature and went as far as I could without looking back to a place I knew nothing about. It's time to get really creative, brainstorm new ideas, and try not to dismiss ideas you may think are foolish or may not work. Try everything, and eventually you'll find your answer on your way forward. Mangrove challenge you to give things a try before you decide they are not worthy. Mangroves are strong and resilient, and that too is a gift to us. They offer us the knowledge that we are capable of evolving and changing in order to better suit and work with our environment. Well, that so applies to like when I came here. It really does. But I just wanted to read about that card because that's how I related to the mangrove, and I didn't know anything about them except when they're growing, when they're young, they're very prickly to walk. They're not prickly, but they're stabby. They're strong. Okay, now I'll put these away and do that unboxing. You know, as I was putting these cards away, I was just thinking again, and I thought about balance and that tripod, because I did knock it over just now. Uh, and I thought this person is looking really kind of peaceful. So, and I was thinking about the boundaries, but it looks like they're in between the day and the night. The moon's not, so it could be. It looks kind of, it could be twilight. It's not a black sky, or it could be dawn. They've got land and sea, so it's almost like they're in a real perfect state of balance. So they could actually be at a perfect time in their life, and they're choosing not to worry about what's coming. And I spend a huge amount of time worrying about the future. A lot of sleepless nights and anxiety. And I thought about a sleep mask when you put a sleep mask on. And it's kind of like a sleep mask for your mind, maybe this card, because the swords represent the mind. But it's also this balance, this being in a place where you don't actually need to do anything if you don't want to. So the swords and that would be metaphorical. They're just balanced, but the boundaries are up. But you're in this place where you actually feel pretty good about life. Nothing, because it's such a still card. The sea's still, and anyway, that was something else I was thinking about. It was just thinking about like the not being able to see what's coming and how I worry about that, and then the idea of a sleep mask. So there's another thought for the Two of Swords. Right, I will put them away now. And that's the thing about it. You can never. There's always more to learn. Always more. But I do. I kind of like the idea of the. You know what I mean by the sleep mask, the eye mask things. Right, ta-da, the box. Now, I did bring a knife. Where is it? We have a box. Oh, I might have to move, adjust things here. I'll just see. I'll cut the. I do know what's in it. 2 tarot decks. One I've had before, and one I've never seen before. Freebies on top. Now, to give it away, I got some free cards. So the deck is the Mons Tarot, which I gave my original one away, and I've only had the app for years. But they've given me some free cards. This is Lily, the King of Spades. And then we've got the 7 of Cups, the 5 of Wands. Oh, there's lots of different size decks. Oh, wow, I love that. The Cave. That's gorgeous. Dreams. Oh, these are lovely. And a cute card. I love those. Right, we'll put those away. I say I'm not sure what decks the others come from. The Mons Tarot went out of print really quickly, and I gave my original one away, not realising I wouldn't be able to get another one. So this is the Mons Tarot, which a lot of you have seen before. It's not a new deck by any means. This is a second edition, and it's by Joanna Nelson. So here we go. The Mons Tarot. And it's got, I'm not going to do a huge thing now because the light's getting bad, and I'm aware of the battery of the camera. We've got a luminary card, and then we've got all the majors. I'm just going to have a look at the Two of Swords because and see what they say about it, what their take is. I mean, you would have seen these cards. This isn't going to be a run through, just a quick unboxing to show you. Oh, I love the Two of Swords card here. It's a lovely one. And it's got the little creatures standing around. Oh, it's got one of my favourite things, a paper boat. Oh, I used to make them with my grandson. We loved to go into the river and doing paper boats. So let's see what this book says about the Two of Swords. Stalemate, putting off decisions, compromise. See, that's kind of different to my feeling about it, but the artist's interpretation, eyes closed tight to avoid a decision, she stands tall in the sea among rock and island obstacles. In order to direct a clear passage for her paper boat, she must open her eyes and take in all the information needed for the solution. Well, that's true, but I mean, you can't put this off any longer. You can close yourself to the situation and bury your head in the sand all you want, but it's not going to help. A decision needs to be made. You may think that it's making you happier and more peaceful to avoid it, but it's just going to make things worse in the long run. You need to open your heart and mind and really look at the issues at hand and make an informed choice. Well, I agree about the informed choice, but I'm not so sure about the forced decision. So that's another aspect of the Two of Swords. And these little creatures are. She's actually in the water. Maybe because she's in the water, she's in deeper water. She's not in that place of balance anymore. So this is how people can change. So when you get a tarot card and you're an artist, you can choose the aspect of that card that you want to focus on when you do your illustrations. So I guess that's why it's so good to have different decks and to see all the different viewpoints of it. That's one thing I really love about studying different tarot decks is finding all the different viewpoints and things. And sometimes you can see things that you didn't see before in the simplest of decks. Different ways of looking at things. I thought about the boundaries and burying the head in the sand with this one, but obviously that is that viewpoint that they've chosen, and there's nothing wrong with it. And I do love this deck. Oh, the cards are big; they are a bit gigantic, but sometimes that's it's good if you have. They're really good for like the daily draws because you get a big card to put on your altar. So there's that one. Now the other one. Shall I save the other one for tomorrow? Yeah, I think I'm going to save the other one tomorrow because it's a new one and I want to do more about it. But it's hidden in the plastic. Okay, I'm going to go because I'm worried this tripod's going to fall over again. Bye.